I was hoping you could tell me a little bit about how you think the conference is going and what you think like the major highlights of it are in terms of the future of bringing interface technology being integrated into the gaming world.
Well, I mean, it's the first ever NeuroGaming Conference and Expo, and so my hope was, first of all, just to bring the community together, to begin to have the talk around different types of technologies and how the interplay between them could begin to spark new experiences for players. And I think it's a great success. I mean, the conversations that I'm having people, hearing them have, in the hallways, the Q&A sessions during each session, people are really trying to sort of push the edge of where the technology is, where it's going, how inexpensive sensors, will allow us to do fundamentally new things in game design, not just for gaming, but for health, for education, a little bit for national defense. So I'm really excited. I mean, highlights right now, boy, every panel is a highlight because each one brings sort of a new area of neurogaming, into focus. Instead of just having sort of the names of a couple of companies, right? What we're seeing is, the actual people running these companies, the inventors, the cutting-edge designers actually talk about these different technologies. So, right, we started the conference out with, the sensory gaming platform panel discussion. I mean, the haptics technology discussion from Disney. Wow, that was absolutely fantastic. Then we moved on to the emotion sensing panel and got to hear from Valve, what they're doing from the game design research and how they're integrating biometrics and feedback into the game design process. Then the cognitive gaming platform panel, right, where people were talking about BCI and how the BCI technologies are being used. And I mean, it just keeps building, right? And the investing in NeuroGaming panel, I thought was very sort of honest and refreshing. We didn't have people saying, "Oh, this is going to be huge." They're saying, "Well, we don't know yet." It seems still sort of fragmented. But then again, what I'm trying to do here is create a community that actually comes together and creates that next big thing. And when I listen to the game designers talk about where they can take these different technologies, it's heartwarming because it's amazing to see these people down here in the expo arena, with their different technologies, and the conversations are just going and going. Yeah. The lines, to try the different technologies are just sort of moving forward.
So I was a little bit surprised at how much of the focus of like the sensory and cognitive gaming panels was geared towards the health, like therapeutic applications, as opposed to just like the commercial, like integrating into gaming applications. Were you kind of expecting that, or did that surprise you as well?
Well, no, the genesis of sort of neurogaming has really been in the health space, right? And really what we're trying to do by bringing the neurogaming meme into the entertainment industry is to be able to make neurogaming attractive, profitable, and an interesting space for the overall entertainment gaming industry. And so it's sort of new to them. And so finding enough people who have enough cutting-edge experience in the real entertainment neurogaming space rather than the therapeutic neurogaming space is a challenge. And because there's a little bit more history there, a little bit more expertise, people tend to, the conversation sort of shifts that way. And what I'm really trying to do hard is, again, bring these game designers. I mean, that's why we're hosting it right in YetiZen, which is a game, accelerator here in the middle of San Francisco, right? It's like, we got to bring the game designers, the entertainment, game designers into the conversation. And I think future years what we'll see is a lot more of these entertainment-focused discussions as that becomes a profit center and it becomes a viable market for all the neurotech and game design products.
And one more question: if you had to guess, like, what modality of neurogaming will kind of catch first? Like, do you think it'll be headsets being integrated more into the gaming world, or like haptic technology? Like, which one of the two do you think is the best avenue for integration right now?
It's impossible to know, and it's all happening at once. It's a convergence, and that's why it's so exciting. That's why I didn't put on a haptics technology conference. Yeah. That's why I didn't focus on sound design and scent design. That's why I wanted to bring together all these different verticals into one area, into one meeting, and get these people, get that conversation going, because it really is about the cheap sensors across all these different areas, making possible all these new type of game mechanics and experiences that will sort of push the possibility of play, and then making that exciting. I mean, so where do I think the play, the answer is convergence. So it's Oculus Rift with a focus headset to improve your concentration, with an EEG to understand your emotional reactions, to facial tracking technology to actually catch your pupil dilation to figure out what you're actually looking at. So all four of those combined with maybe some sound, some haptics-oriented, headsets and a haptics-oriented chair. And while that sounds like a lot, a couple of years down the road, those converged might be a $400 or $500 device system. Well, now we're talking something. I mean, that's an iPad. But if you could get all that in a system, the experiences. So it's really about the convergence. It's not about one being the single thing. I mean, I think obviously Oculus Rift is going to take off very quickly. There's a lot of interest there. Some of the EEG headsets are catching in new ways. I love what Puzzle Box is doing. It's sort of taking it out into the real world of gaming. So there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.